welcome back to another video. In today's video, we have New Year's Evil predictions. Now, this will be right after the Raw and Netflix debut, so we have two back-to-back shows that are high priority for both companies, and should be two really fun shows. But today, we're just focusing on New Year's Evil. What are your thoughts on the show so far?
Yeah, I think there's decent builds to the matches. Obviously, the big kind of main one that people are going to want to see, I would think, is Roxanne Perez versus Julia. I think that's kind of the main one that people are expecting a title change from. However, I do think there will be multiple title changes.
Yeah. Let's kick things off with the triple threat match for the men's world champion, and that is Trick Williams defending his belt against Obafemi and Eddie Thorpe. Who do you think is coming out with the belt?
I think Obafemi walks away. I think Eddie Thorpe is here kind of for the pin. But yeah, I do think Obafemi walks away with the title.
Yeah, I agree. I think Obafemi, this is his time. He's had an crazy 2024, start 2025 with a bang, make him the world champion. Maybe this means Trick gets called up not too far down the line. I'm sure they would have a rematch with Trick and Oba potentially. I forget what the next pay-per-view is, like Roadblock or something like that, or Revolution. I forget what it's called, but yeah, I think Obafemi gets the win here. Should hopefully be a fun match. Triple threats in NXT are usually pretty fun. So yeah. Next up, though, we got a 6-woman tag match where Tatum Paxley, Shotzi, Gigi Dolan are taking on Fatal Influence. Who do you think comes out with the win?
I think, I don't know. I like both teams, honestly. Fatal Influence is someone who's been growing a lot on me. And individually, I like all of Shotzi, Gigi Dolan, and Tatum Paxley. But I think I will go with Fatal Influence. They do have the North American champion after all. So, yeah, I think they'll pick up the win here. And, yeah, they're going to be doing a #1 contenders match as well on this card that we'll get into shortly. So, potential face-off with them after the match or something. But, yeah.
Yeah, for this one, I'm going to go with the new team of Gigi, Shotzi, and Tatum. I think with Shotzi just re-debuting in NXT, I feel like they're going to have some big things planned for her, and not for too long probably. She'll probably get re-called up probably through the Rumble, if I had to guess. But yeah, should be a fun match. Hopefully, we get just a lot of just showcasing. They give them their time to actually have a good match. Because I think all 6 women in this match are actually pretty good, and they're some of the best and kind of most underrated women in the division. So should be a pretty fun match if they have the time.
For sure.
Next up, though, like you mentioned, we have a women's North American #1 contender match where Stephanie Vaquer, Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice, and Cora Jade will have a fatal 4-way. Who do you think comes out with the win?
Well, we already seen Kalani with it, so I think she's sort of ruled out for me. And Lola Vice, I do like her. However, I don't necessarily want to see her with the belt just yet. So that kind of leaves Cora Jade and Stephanie Vaquer, and I think it could go with either one of these. I don't think they will put a belt on Stephanie yet, just because I think you'll probably want to see Stephanie versus Julia. And if she has a belt that kind of, I don't think they'll double belt somebody up. I mean, I guess they could, but I think I'm going to go with Cora Jade, honestly. I think Roxanne, get into that later, but, I think Cora Jade picks up the big win here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Stephanie just because I think, like you said, Kalani's kind of ruled out just because she is the first and just lost her belt. So I don't think they'll give her right back or another opportunity to go right back for it. And Lola and Cora, I just don't think they're ready for a champion just yet. I think Stephanie Vaquer has had a great impact ever since she's came to NXT, and I think they reward her here. And there's still enough time for her to lose the belt before Stand and Deliver, so we can have that big Stand and Deliver weekend match of Stephanie and potentially Julia, which I think would be probably the best women's match in maybe all of NXT history, and maybe even just WWE history, at least in the women's division. So, yeah, potential a lot of good stuff can come from this. Next up, though, we have the Heritage Cup on the line where Charlie Dempsey will have a sudden death match with Lexis King. Now, Lexis King beat him, but Ava called him out and said, hey, you kind of cheated to win, so we have to give the belt or the cup back to Charlie Dempsey. And on New Year's Evil, you always have a fall match, and winner gets the Heritage Cup. But with that said, who do you think comes out with the win?
I do think Lexis King is going to win it again. I think he's going to walk away with it. He won last time, and it was actually a really good match. And I think he'll do the same thing again. I think he'll impress everybody once again, and he'll win it back.
Yeah. For me, I think I would like to see Lexis King with it, but I think Charlie Dempsey just fits the mold of the Heritage Cup champion. So I think they keep it on him. Maybe this makes like the team may go a little crazy, and we get like a crazy heel where he's kind of just all over the place, doesn't know how to control his emotions, and might lash out on a few people. And hopefully, it's just a big thing for Lexis King just down the line. But next up, and in our last match, the women's NXT champion on the line, Roxanne Perez, Julia Part 2. Who comes out with the belt?
I am gonna go with Julia. I made my prediction earlier with Cora Jade becoming Women's North American Champion, and that kind of plays into this pick. I have Roxanne losing and her winning. That sets up maybe a little kind of feud between them. Maybe not a feud, but some little tension between the two. And then Julia gets the title. Then that's kind of sets up the tension with her and Stephanie after she loses her North American title championship. Or her chance at the North American title. But yeah, this is just a really good match here. I think this will be match of the night. I think Roxanne Perez is definitely coming up to the main roster at any point after this. I could literally see her on the Raw after this, coming up on the Royal Rumble, on the Saturday Night Main Event. There's a lot of different ways to go about this one. But yeah, I will go with Julia.
Yeah, I'm a match on there as well. I think Julia, she lost that first match, which was a bit surprising to at least me, even though I think they just wanted to help build her a little bit more, so that, hey, Roxanne is still, the best woman we have to offer right now, and Julia just isn't just ready just yet. But now, after a few months of Julia kind of setting herself into the NXT audience, got really over with the crowd. She's very popular with everybody, and I think she finally gets the win. It should be a pretty good match and a really nice moment for Julia to finally get that win. But yeah, that will do it for NXT New Year's Evil predictions. Let us know your predictions down in the comments below, and we will catch you guys in the next one.